you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on gear. If you can afford it, get it by all means.
Right.
Me personally, I try to stay within a 3-year time frame. Just recently, I finally got
The mirrorless game.
I finally got the mirrorless game.
We had to pull it out of them, though. We had to pull it out of them a little bit.
They ragged me.
It was a ragging in love. Like, come on to the light.
And it was a game changer, and that's one of the things that, I want to say. You don't know unless you know. You feel me? So, and that's the benefit of collaborating.
Every single day I feel the pressure. Double up the work, let's make it extra.
Hey, this is Cummings Kings here, and today I got Octavious with me, one of Florida's elite photography specialists in sports. And today we're going to be talking collaboration, we're going to be talking gear, and we're going to be talking creator burnout. But hey, man, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you here. Man, today's topic is all about collaboration. So why do you think collaboration is kind of important to get going in an environment of sports photography or photography period?
Well, now collaboration only arises when you're at a certain point in your career, in your business. But normally you collaborate with either you're trying to learn or there's a yin and a yang.
Right.
It's a counterpart. It's a dual. But ultimately it's growth. Once you reach a particular point, you say, hey, I'm comfortable with who I am, or I'm uncomfortable and I need to learn more. So I want to collaborate with a particular person I feel as though I can grow from, or vice versa.
Right.
That energy, because collaborating is one thing, but being able to collaborate with somebody and have a successful collaboration is something totally different, because the way that I work and the way that I communicate in friendship may not be the same tool you do with it. You follow me? And but when you're collaborating and there's good energy, it's actually the new curse. Collaboration is the new currency. What I mean by that is, for me, I've been a one-man show forever. I do it all, but am I doing it effectively? You follow me? Has my business grown? It has grown, but I hit the ceiling, and I can't get any bigger until I be able to collaborate, with the right, source of people.
Right.
So I think collaboration is important, especially going to 2024. If you're looking to grow and take your business to the next level or your high.
Right. Yeah, man. When I think about collaborating, I think about the first person I really collaborated was a guy named Xavier in college, and he was in film school there at UA. So at UA, University of Alabama. But he was in film school. I'm pursuing a political science degree. I'm shooting around because I got me a camera. I'm shooting models and I'm shooting everybody. Yeah, bro. At that point, I was shooting in the clubs. I was everywhere.
Me too.
So people tell you that know me from Alabama, they'd be like, yeah, he was the guy who was in all the fraternity parties. I was in a fraternity. Well, I am in a fraternity. And I would go to all of the events shooting. So I was always collaborating with different event specialists, and I was collaborating with him to learn video because I didn't know how to do video.
Okay.
And back then the cameras didn't shoot videos.
Right.
And then I got the 5D Mark IV, the 5D 2, and that's when I started doing video. Because I never had the T1s, the T3s. I moved directly into the 5D 2.
Okay.
But yeah, right. But collaborating, you always can. Except for that one time me and Tremaine with the Sony for a short moment. But yeah, when I was working with him, it was I was able to progress faster because he was actually in school for film. So I was able to gain film knowledge while getting my political science degree. So I would help him do different films and stuff. And today he's a film writer out by Hollywood and all that, doing it big time. But man, that's why I always tell people collaboration is so important, because without him, I would have never probably even started doing video.
Mentorship.
Yeah. And we were just colleagues, really, because we were the same school, same age. It wasn't, but it was fun. It was having fun. Kids having fun.
That even though y'all was the same age, the skill set enabled him to be a mentor.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
That's another aspect of collaboration. The time frame, the speakings, this guy, he flew down from Texas. He was from Texas, and my very first gig, to shoot a whole weekend of the SB Awards. It was for the SB Awards, the cheerleading competition, and the sports action for the Super Bowl. Right. And but I knew how to shoot action, but for us printing on the site, all this stuff I was off. I didn't know how to do. But what happened was he flew down. Right. But he brought somebody else in and they had a cheer pod. So we had an elaborate system going on, and nobody knew, but they knew it was mine. But he was working and running it. I seen him one time, do all this print on site and just crazy green screen. And I took it and I adopted it and I took off. But my point is saying this. So anytime I ran into an issue, I was able to pick up the phone, call. He said, study doing that way, doing this way. And the reason why I'm saying this because I took the opportunity to collaborate with him during that time. And he didn't even know me. He only knew me from the group. Correct. And I opened up my home. He stayed there. But even now to this particular day, he's an individual. I can pick up the phone and he guides me. And so with the collaboration, it speeds your process up. It speeds your process up and enable you to do and learn more as versus going to somebody's street.
Right.
Because it's on the job training.
And people just gotta be open to collaboration because like my biggest story with being just open to collaborate with people is it's with Tremaine.
Yeah.
When I met Tremaine, essentially we met because there was a guy, he was doing a modeling agency and I was taking the photos.
Okay.
Everybody pretty much went to me in Tuscaloosa at the time for photos. And I was going for photos. They were like, hey, I want you you got to mess with my graphic designer. And he was a graphic designer. I could have been like, I don't mess with second people. I know how to use Photoshop. I don't need him. But instantly we clicked. I was like, we were vibing off each other. And his house had all this video stuff set up because he was doing a whole green screen show. Oh, wow. And I'm like, oh, this is dope. I said, I ain't never really seen all this before. And but if I had been closed off, he probably be like, man, he ain't really cool. He ain't got to come by the house and all that. Like we just could keep it, separate and just send me your photos and we'll just keep it, going on from there. But had I been shut off to meeting people new and thinking that you're better than everybody, you wouldn't have went nowhere. Because he was the go-to graphic designer in Tuscaloosa. Like everybody knew him for flyers and all that good stuff. I was doing flyers too because we all trying to make a little change, but I wasn't shut off by the fact that he did similar stuff to me. I more so saw it as an opportunity to meet a colleague and to meet, a lifelong business partner at this point. You know what I mean? And look at us now.
Yeah, and that's crazy. You said a key point. The similarities, doing the same exact thing. Some people take it to be a threat. Like for instance, like I see. My timeline, I see photographers, they're getting cameras, they're taking pictures, and I love it. But somehow, some way, I think because we do the same thing, I can feel a little distance. I don't know if it's just me in my mind. I'm like,
you feel
like why we kind of feel it's an awkward feeling, not because I feel some type of way, but I think that in their mind, it's a weird competition.
Right.
We're not in competition.
It's bad in photography, honestly. We got to talk about that. Photographers got to stop doing that. It's bad in photography.
It's crazy.
It's not the same in video. Like, there's more collaboration in video.
All right.
But I think that's just because Hollywood and all that is kind of more of a collaborative effort. Like, you need a lighting guy, a video guy, a cameraman, a DP. You need all these things. But you're right, man. You meet some photographers and you're like, they don't want to tell you what light they're using. Right. I remember forever, I was trying to figure out how people were doing gels back in the day. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I figured out gels is because my wife now, she was a dance teacher. Not a dance teacher. She was in a dance program at the same school. And she brought to her apartment a gel pack called Roscoe, the main gel packs. And those gel packs, I got an idea to put them on
top of a flash, and that's how I figured out how to
How
gel.
to do it.
But nobody taught me because all the guys I was reaching out to, like on Model Mayhem at the time.
Model Mayhem, you remember Model Mayhem?
Yeah,
Wow.
they were like, "Oh, I don't disclose information about my shoots," and I'm like, "Man, I don't even know you from Nebraska, bro. Like, I'm not gonna take no client. I'm in Alabama."
Yeah, what you gonna go to your funeral with it?
But that's the only reason I figured it out because she brought a little gel pack home, and I'm like, I wonder could I put those on top of the flash? But yeah, photographers, we gotta do better than that.
Yeah,
when people reach out, be kinder.
Yeah, like, I think a lot of times, not knowing, because I'm inspired a lot by other photographers, and for me to sit up here and say that everything that I've created has been solely me. No, I've been inspired. I've seen something that I like, and I try to duplicate it.
Right.
You follow me? But I think a lot of times other photographers either feel intimidated, or feel as though stepping into their territory. I think what happened for me, and if you go on my Facebook or anything, you'll see I always do behind the scenes because I had told myself as a photographer when I came up, I used to always see the ending result. Yeah. Don't know how many likes they had, how many they used, what was the position of the camera, what was their aperture. I never knew all that.
Right.
And so I told myself if I ever learn photography, I'm going to educate people. Right. And so that's how I started putting behind the scenes. And these behind the scenes want to get a whole bunch of views. Right. So I know people was feeding off of it. But I say all that to say this. I feel the same way today. The reason why I post those behind the scenes because I'm not intimidated by you knowing what I know. Because the gift that God gave me, he gave it to me. You're not going to see the things that I see because you don't have my eyes. You understand? You don't have my passion.
Shoot, just to shoot a second ago that we did, I can't remember, that was probably like 2 months ago. I'm looking at the photos, I'm like, I do kind of like his contrast better. I'm like, shoot, I'm going to switch to how he doing it. Let me put the softbox a little bit more centered, and then I'm going to feather it a little bit more.
Yeah, and
that's like a collaboration.
Yeah,
and not
it's a collaboration.
Being like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, because you don't, it's for me, it's all trial and error. And like I always say at the end of the day, I cannot die and take none of this stuff with me.
Nope.
You feel me? And so to be at a place where to be inspired and be inspiring, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. But I think for those who don't collaborate or feel intimidated, it's weird because I get a whole bunch of likes, a whole bunch of comments, and then you get a camera, and feel intimidated. No, I'm an open book. If you want to know something, hit me up or I give advice or whatever. But on a bigger scale, when photographers understand that photography is an unending learning process, you will never know everything every single day. I'm learning every single time. It's just ongoing, but it speed up the process. Even dealing with you guys, like right now, the way y'all handle business. You follow me? I treated my business, honestly, like it wasn't a business. You follow me? Because I was just kind of like gifted. Okay, I do this, but there's little things that I need to do in the way to treat my business. Tremaine big on that. It's just the littlest things to get this whole story. Just a little, I'm like, okay, bro, I get it. You hear me? but in the day, the little things that, he say is right, it's kind of impart you. But had not, he opened the door or you opened the door, even though we do the same exact things, it was like, shit, this dope. Let me go ahead and bring him. Let's all us eat.
Correct.
Let's all us figure out how we eat. And since I've been here, it has always been that way. It's not a me thing. It's like, hey, let's figure out how us eat. Let's go do this and we'll figure it out or whatever. And because of that, like I'm growing fast, and I haven't even hit the surface of Orlando the way that I want to. You know what I mean? Y'all finally got me out the house. But the opportunity, is here for me, and I haven't been relentless about it. You understand what I'm saying? But because the same thing that you said, because you wasn't closed off, it's the same thing that I say, because I wasn't closed off, hey, we do the same thing. It was beneficial. You understand? It would have been a death to me, closing that door, being closed off. And for you photographers out there, man, if you want to learn, find somebody that's willing to pour into you. Find somebody that you like their work or whatever it is, and reach out to them. I am not afraid to go on somebody's inbox and ask them how they did that, where I can find this at, because it's two things they can tell. Either you're gonna tell me or you're not, but I'm gonna find out.
That's true.
But if you take that approach, you'll get a whole lot more yeses than no's. So if you're looking to grow, my advice to you, for anybody that's getting into photography, if you really want to grow, reach out, expand yourself. Don't be afraid of what another photographer gonna say. That's the only way you're gonna go to the next level. And guess what? It's just gonna save you a whole bunch of time.
Man, you ain't lying. Just the smoke machine, we needed. We bought a smoke machine just off Googling on Amazon. Not Googling on Amazon, but searching on Amazon. And we got it, and it was good for a while, but we noticed the smoke wasn't really what we saw other people use. We reached out on Facebook to some guys we like, and we finally got a reply from one of the guys who was like the smoke guy.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, man, here's the link. It was short, but I was like, that's all I wanted. Obviously, he ain't down for the talking. But at least he was open to collaborate. Even that small little form of quick reply was a form of collaboration. And, so I'm like, man, appreciate it, because we were hurting, because we're trying to figure out our smoke looked like poof, and we trying to make it look like all over the room,
Yeah. Trust me, I done had that experience.
Yeah, we're like, nah, this can't be the smoke machine everybody using. Can't be. But nah, man, you said something earlier too, and what I want everybody to understand is every client's not your client too. Yeah. So a lot of people look at it like, well, man, they're gonna steal clients from me, or vice versa. But that person might just want to deal with you, and they might like your style, and they might like something that they saw you do. That's like, didn't you do the fire? I think you did something with fire.
Yeah, I did the fire.
Like, we ain't did fire. So somebody could very well come to you and be like, I love the fire look. Even though they see us all working together, that doesn't mean it's going to take away anything from
Correct.
You. There's a lot to gain in knowledge of being around each other. And you gain a lot more information quicker, because you're getting to see 2 people work, 3 people work, doing all these different styles. And you're like, oh, man, okay. Now I can ask him, oh, man, why you use that tripod? Why you use that? Oh, I use that because I like to do it this way. But, yeah, man. So one biggest point here, since we love gear, since we love our cameras, tell them, are you team Canon, Nikon, or Sony?
Well, I'm Canon, everything, all the way through.
What made you choose Canon? Did you just bump into Canon, or Canon bumped into you?
Well, I had bumped into Canon. I remember my very first camera. These 2 guys. They was one guy literally went to school, finished school for photography. He same kind of scenario you did. I was in college. I was going to school for journalism, but I got into the videography class. And but anyways, this guy he knew his stuff. White guy. Yeah. A white guy that anyways, long story short, they was into photography and they had cameras. So obviously, you sit around a barber shop, eventually you get a haircut. So I finished got me a camera. But he had the 90D. I think it was a 90D back then in 2008, 2009, But my camera back then, I only got it for $250, but 10 years ago it probably was worth $1,000, $1,500. But anyway, so I stuck with it, and people laughed at me.
What camera was that?
It was the Canon. I don't know. It took the it was old, man.
That's what, the 1D?
No, it wasn't even a 1. It wasn't even in the 1D.
I mean the series. 10. The 10. They had a 10 series too.
I think I did.
Canon 10D.
No, it was
That took compact.
I don't know. It was old camera. It was old camera, man. But I took pictures in the club.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So
Hey,
it worked.
y'all better get on the club. Look, the club
that's how I
photographers.
started.
This is what we become.
You know, but one of the things that had ended up happening was somebody had purchased a camera. I said if I ever get the 50D, 50D was kind of affordable for me during that time.
Like,
it was
I'm about
fresh
to go
out.
off
You feel me? I said if I ever get that 50D, I'm gonna change the game.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting the 50D. I changed the game. I never ever looked back. But saying that is say this while we on camera gear. You know, I just want to point this out. And hear me clear. If you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on gear, if you can afford it, get it by all means.
Right.
Me personally, I try to stay within a 3-year time frame. Just recently, I finally got
The mirrorless game.
I finally got the mirrorless game.
We had to pull it out of them, though. We had to pull it out of them a little bit.
They ragged me.
It was a ragging in love. Like, come on to the light.
And it was a game changer, you know. And that's one of the things that, you know, I want to say. You don't know unless you know. You feel me? So and that's the benefit of collaborating. Get out your feelings, you know. Get from up under yourself, and get around somebody that's experienced. That's going to enable you, because I grew just that fast. You feel me? Like literally, because I had this camera, it enabled me to do some things and be some places that I normally wouldn't be, you know, without thinking, you know, the autofocus and all this shit. But to say this is to say this. If you're passionate about your photography or whatever it is that about photography, having an eye or passionate, it'll take you further than the equipment. I just want to say that for people that don't know, whether you got a TI or Rebel or whatever the case, true enough, the more modern camera, expensive camera, you could do a whole lot more as far as range, the clarity, the glass. All that does make a difference. But at the end of the day, you still could be creative and take off whatever you have. And if you're looking to buy gear, me personally, I try to stay within 3 to 5 years, you know, of it. Only way I say up your gear if it's gonna make you more money. But if it ain't gonna make you more money, keep what you got. You feel me? Ain't no sense spending $2,000, $3,000 on another lens. It's just me talking personally. If it's not gonna bring more business to your business, you know what I mean? Right. Spend $5,000 if it's gonna bring you $20,000. In other words, right. But if it's not, don't spend $5,000. It ain't, and you ain't gonna make the money back. It don't make sense. So
it don't, because man, that first camera, I believe, that very first camera I started on. Well, technically, the first camera I actually took photos on was a AE1. It was a film camera, but that was in middle school.
Oh, okay. I'm finna say, what the hell is that?
Yeah, that's the AE1 in middle school. But then when I got reacquainted back to cameras again in college, it was a 40D.
Oh,
so it was the Canon 40D. Yeah, so I had that for a long time.
Well, how long you been shooting? Because you say you since middle school.
That was 2000. Well, middle school was just a small part. Like, I put it down after I left.
Okay.
Like, I ain't taking it into high school or anything.
All right.
So until I got to school, I saw a guy named Gus. College. Okay. So when I got to college, I went to Southern first before I went to Alabama. Mm-hmm. And I transferred to Alabama. But when I got to Southern, there was a guy named Gus. He was a fine art photographer. Okay. And he was also on campus as well. And what ended up happening was he had a Canon. So I was like, man, Canon must be the go-to camera. I remember the Canon in middle school.
Shit.
Yes.
Canon's the shit.
So I was like, shoot, I'm going to get me a Canon too. And the newest camera out was the 40D. And my mama cussed me out, bro, because I went and got a Best Buy card. I just went and got it. I didn't even care.
You went in.
Yeah. I lied. I said a girl bought it for me. I ain't gonna lie. To y'all. I ain't gonna cap, as the kids say. Yeah, I lied to mama. I was like, oh, yeah. No, a girl got it for me. She said a girl bought you I think at the time it was like $1,200 for that dang camera. She said a girl bought you a $1,200 camera. I was like, well, you know. She like, I saw the dang on credit card statement thing come in.
Busted.
Yeah, she like, they came straight to the door, you know. And I'm like, but yeah, fun times there. But I got the 40D, and the rest was history. I mean, we moved to Sony one time. And we did it for a reason. I mean, the A7S, I think it was the A7S, was the only one that used to shoot 4K when you had a Ninja attached to it. So Adamus had not the Ninja, but they had an Adamus Flame. Okay, was the name of the monitor. And when you hooked it into the A7S2, you can shoot in 4K. And at the time, I was shooting a lot of weddings, and then that's when I got Tremaine into shooting video. At the time, back then, he still was just doing graphics only. Okay. So then at that point, I was like, that's when he started getting into video. And that's when he mainly was shooting with the Sony cameras as well with me. So we both got A7 IIIs, and we had the A7S II. So we was with Sony for a minute, and then they just stopped. They waited too long to release, I think, the A7 III or something like that. When they waited too long, we went to the R5, and we were like, yeah, we love it here. It's nice. And we got the C70s, and there was a small time there we had Blackmagic. Blackmagic was great, but they ain't got no autofocus. Can't really take it nowhere. Not really great for events. It's great for something like this. Like, you're going to put it in the studio, set the autofocus, but anything else, not really that good. But, man, Canon, best color science.
I just want to say that.
Best,
it's
best service, too. Yeah, people don't know that. I broke a camera before, sending it in to Canon, and they got like a membership system. So, like, I'm a platinum tier person because I've owned so many Canon cameras over the years. And you get a credit for every camera you own. Sony, if you break your camera, they send it to a third-party organization to fix it. They don't have their own repair staff. Wow. So you tell me, who's the better one when it comes to a professional? And they got a loaner system.
I just want to say that.
Yeah, so if they know your camera's broke, you can ask them for a loaner camera. And they'll be like, yeah, no problem. Yeah. Most of the time, they just fix your junk real fast, so they ain't got to give you a loaner. But nah, man, Canon all the way for me, for sure.
Especially this is for you Sony guys, or somebody that's looking to purchase a camera. I will say this: at one particular time, Sony in itself,
it was fire though.
They always had made good products. You know, even at low end, wasn't a DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera. Back then, Sony just was a good company. You know, good quality products. So at one point. Just give you a little history. Sony had came out with the mirrorless camera, and when the mirrorless camera, when they came out with it, it just was a game changer. The eye autofocus, everybody went to switching from Fuji, Canon, Nikon, and everybody was going to Sony. And so at one, I mean, people selling their lens, just everything. And so Canon. You know, was in the preparation. They was grinding.
Dragging their feet.
You know, unforeseen. You know, and Sony literally just took over. You know, until Canon popped back out. You know, with the vivid colors. You know, they came out with the mirrorless game. They came with a little prototype. You know, I think it was an M1.
It was an M. Yeah, something. That was horrible.
Yeah, you know, but then now they back. You know, Canon is back. The R5 or just the R series. That's ridiculous. I got the R6. And thanks to my boy Tremaine and Kev, man, they got on me. And it's literally a game changer. If you have a DSLR, then some of the photographers were just telling me, hey, why would you go ahead and switch over? You getting the same look. You doing the same thing with your 1DX or your 80D. Nah, bro. No.
It's not quite the same.
It ain't the same. I still can shoot. But what really changed my collaboration, like I didn't get paid not $1 from this. Tremaine had a shoot. He was doing an actual video, you know, and he was like, you know, hey man, you want to come? Now mind you, for y'all that don't know, I migrated from Bradenton to Orlando. So July be 2 years that I've been here, I think. Yeah, it'll be 2 years this upcoming July. So mind you, prior to me coming here, you know, I just was shooting the Orlando Outlaws. So I really didn't know anybody outside of Orlando Outlaws football team. Right. So when I ended up meeting you guys, like I said, I wasn't getting paid. He was like, hey man, you want to come out there to shoot with me?
Right.
You know,
yep.
I don't do video. That. I could do video, but he do video, right? I'm like, you know, what I'm gonna come out there for? You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and, you know, and so in the process of me going out there, I'm like, well, I'm gonna just shoot the kids. So while he's doing the video,
he talking about not actually shooting kids, but
not shooting kids, you know, photographing the athletes, the football athlete, and we was doing something dope on top of a roof. I don't know, somewhere downtown Orlando. But the magical thing that had happened, I had never shot a mirrorless camera. Mm-hmm. And he was like, hey, man, you should just use my camera and my lens. I'm like, I don't use your camera. I got my own camera, you know? But I go ahead and use this camera and lens, and my God. Lord have mercy.
You're like, oh, okay,
oh my
I get
God.
it.
It was a game changer.
I get it.
When I popped that in, I didn't know it was on continuous shooting.
Yeah.
So when you got the trigger on, and so when I'm hitting it, it giving me two. One flash, another get dark.
Yeah, that's way too fast for the flash.
So I run over there. I say, man, and he late, so he's over there like trying to get
he
it
doing
together.
gimbal moves, everything.
I'm like, man,
I got time for that.
Yeah, I'm like, well, how you do this? Call kill, bro. I ain't even got kill number. You know, like I was supposed to call you, right? So I like bump it. So I went back over there. I just, you know what? I'm just gonna get the two images.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out.
But when I shot it, it just blew my mind. As a photographer, it is very essential. Time is very essential. Focus is very essential. The mirrorless camera, autofocus, especially for those who using an articulating screen. You know, where you don't have to look through the viewfinder. You can look at the back of the screen with auto eye focus. When I hit it, it automatically locked in. Every single photo was literally sharp.
And
right?
then how was that when you put the files on the computer? That's when you could really tell.
What?
When you start messing with stuff, you like, this ain't the same as the other camera.
Yeah, it's totally
Because that's what we
different.
had when we started dropping files and editing them on DaVinci and editing them in Photoshop.
Yeah.
I was like, man, my Sony files, I wasn't pulling them the same way. I was like, it got so bad to where at one point we still had a lot of Sony gear.
Okay.
But all I had was the R. I had the Canon EOS R. And I would shoot a wedding with mainly the R. Mm-hmm. And I just had the Sony as a backup because I had switched all the way.
Yeah.
Because I just did not want to shoot much with the other camera. So I only shot wide stuff because it's really good dynamic range on Sony's.
Okay.
I give them that. Their dynamic range is probably better.
Wow. And the thing too, the additional thing that, and we're still talking about equipment, you know, just game changers. You know, the thing about the mirrorless camera that really blew my mind is whatever I seen, that's exactly what I was getting. And that was the difference.
Yeah, and that's cool.
They was trying to tell me that, you know, it is a difference.
Yeah.
Because I got to guesstimate, you know, look at my
other way.
I got to guess. I got to make sure my meter right.
Yeah, it's just like that jump from film to digital. They used to guess. You couldn't even preview it. And now you can preview the image at least. But then when you move to mirrorless, you like, oh, shoot. There. Especially for live action shots.
What?
You can see the whole frame the whole time.
Look, I'm ready for them to get these images I just shot at this kind of like NFL combine.
Yeah, I know them gonna be Sunday, nice.
You know, and my 1DX, that 1DX a beast.
Right.
But the 1DX would not giving me with it the tracking. I mean, as soon as the guy caught the ball, turned his head.
Yeah, wasn't able to catch it.
It followed him because with the 1DX, what happens is it'll track for so long.
Then it just gives up.
It just give up. Then you got to because if you holding it.
Yeah.
But the difference is with the mirrorless, I was able to track and keep it, and it kept the same. I don't know how I do it, but it kept on the eye the whole time. And I can't wait. These images they just dope, man. Like, god damn, you see what you get, you know.
Shoot.
So y'all transfer it over to the mirrorless camera, man. One time. Now, that's pressure. If you're looking for pressure, that is applied pressure.
So
that part.
Before we go, we didn't go over just a few things that I want to go back over for real quick. So you moved from Bradenton. First of all, what made you move? And then how has that transition been as a creator?
So, you know, I met my fiance. She currently my fiance. So I had been shooting for the Orlando Outlaws. Her son played for the Orlando Outlaws when I originally had met her. And but we didn't connect during that point, but later we ended up connecting. And so Richie, shout out to Richie. He was kind of like my go-to here in Orlando. Whatever I want to do it. If he come to Braden to IMG or whatever, 2:00 in the morning, he need to do a photo shoot. I come, and he was excited about me coming. He like, man, here we had a whole organization to help you come.
Nice.
So as a photographer and not a personal relationship, that kind of like made me feel even safer, you know, even though I'm going on the pretenses, of a woman, I got the spearhead of an organization that'll love to have me there, you know? And that's so cool. During the time I had them been shooting them like 3 or 4 years already, so I was cool. Then I had a cousin, 2 cousins stay here, so I was like, bump it, you know, I went. So, but the transition being here and not having no clientele was kind of like, so I was going back and forth to Bradenton,
travel.
Yeah, traveling, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, that's 4 hours on the road. And then with me moving, like last year, I really didn't shoot as much because I was going back and forth from Bradenton. By the time I shoot, that's a whole day as photographers. Either you're going to pay us a certain amount or you're going to pay us a day rate. You feel me? Or half a day. Yep. So my whole half a day or damn near day rate, going there, doing what I need to do and come back, it was over with, So football season don't last so long. So that happened. And then what happened? How did I get Tremaine called me. I think Tremaine called me about a 10 or something, or asked me, do I do such and such? And I was like, yeah, And he said, well, I wish you was in Orlando. I had you so. I said, I live in Orlando. Like, no way. I'm like, yeah, I live in Orlando, because I was living in Bradenton, obviously. But anyways, invited me to come out to y'all event, And when I came out there, I was like, holy shit, this is it. It was the first time me meeting somebody in Florida that really had that tenacity that I had. Right. Who had that, I don't live in the box. I designed the fucking box. Right. You feel me? You talking about sports? I'm here. Let's go. Line them all up. Yep. Without y'all saying it. You know, it wasn't no talk. This is what y'all was doing. Right. You feel me?
And we just got inspired from guys like you on IG.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
That's how we found you. You were like, oh, shoot. Yeah, he want to follow him, follow that person,
And that was like the beginning then. But then, I'm there and before I come, he like, hey, just bring all your stuff, bring your banners and I'm like, in my mind, I'm saying like, hold on, dude, like, we do the same thing.
Like you trying to put me on?
Yeah, like we do the same thing, and it wasn't no. You come and I'm gonna put you off in the corner. No, I'm here. You front and center. Bring all your products, everything here. Here, you print. Bring that. Bring it all.
And so the people know, because it might get confused. You also do printing.
Yeah. Print on site.
Yep.
Still got the club in
custom shirts, super nice. Shirts. Get all your son photographs all on the the graphics, the new stuff.
The graphics, supplemented shirts.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Tents, anything custom. I do.
Yeah.
Printing.
That's an example of like everybody's not everybody client, and everybody's not gonna do exactly the same because I ain't doing no printing. I'll tell you that from right now. But me and Tremaine never gonna do that.
No printing. Yeah, he'll tell you that quick. But I think one of the amazing things that happened I was just a part of the event.
Yeah.
It was like his wife came and I already knew that it was a conversation that I already had.
Yeah.
Without me being there. It wasn't nothing rehearsed. She wasn't trying to, trying to put on, and she said, hey, by the way, I love your work. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, he got me, your husband got me here. He said, yeah. She said, that's the thing I love about my husband. He's willing to, pretty much collaborate what she was saying, but then when I did not realize that I'd be in tune this much, this deep. You follow me? Okay, I'm a guy. I came in. We do the same things. No, it's outside of photography, hey, bro, what's up going on? What's going on? You reach out to me, man. And it's one of those things. Check in.
Like, hey, bro, how you been? You good?
And that's the benefit when you begin to merge and get outside yourself back to that collaboration. You gain, friendship that's not defined by the camera or the dollar, and which transfer into, real solidified connections, that take you to, the next level. Right. And so for anybody that's out here viewing or watching this podcast, I want you to understand this here. If you are literally looking to grow, if you want to transform your business, you have to transfer your mind. You got to get beyond yourself and overextend yourself to the fellow photographer. Now, don't get me wrong. Every photographer, videographer is not going to be open. Right. Let me just say that, But when you find those people that not only can you collaborate with, but build a friendship with and open up with, it's something magical happen, because it's magically happened to me. Like, you guys don't even see, you just see in this part here, but this guy's got a whole open setup, and just open the doors for me, willingly. You follow where I'm coming from? And there's not a dollar attached to that or a dollar value to that. It's just a genuineness. And if you keep striving, if you keep thriving, if you keep redeveloping the box or color outside of the lines, as I say, you will find that magical place as well, just as much as I had. And with that, grow, ask questions, go to the next level. But you will never reach that place if you stay still. And the only possibility that's not possible is a paralyzed possibility. So get out there, grab the camera, get the new camera, transfer it to the mirrorless, holla at Canvas Kings, but whatever you do, redevelop yourself. It's okay. Scratch it all off and start all over. Rebuild to explode. So,
hey, man, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Hey, with that time, I appreciate you, brother, for coming and messing with us today. Hey, guys, that's our time. Hey, you're going to see a lot more of him. He was in one of our other videos where we did iPhone versus the camera, the iPhone 15 Pro versus regular camera. And we're going to have a lot more of these featured videos coming up. You'll be seeing a lot more of him, obviously.
I'm out here.
Because we got many different shootouts to do and all that fun stuff. Yes, so, hey, until next time, everybody, Canvas Kings
Canvas Kings in the building. Shake.